In terms of the drivers, who do we think's going to win? Well, let's get into it, shall we? So in terms of we're going through least likely to most likely. So bear with me. And are we surprised? I mean, I don't want to be too mean, but yeah, he's probably not going to win. He still has 0 point while Gasly is still scoring points. Jacques Villeneuve even came out and was, in my opinion, slightly unfriendly towards poor Franco Colapinto, basically saying, yeah, he's only there because of his money and his deals. I think he's a bit better than that. Are there better drivers that they could have signed? Yep. Should they give Jack Doohan another chance? I think so. But there we go. I'm not running it. Some Flavio Briatore's running it. Yeah, I probably could do a better job. Anyway, moving on. Lance Stroll, not likely. Let's just hope he doesn't yeet it into a wall. Anything else, I think, for Lance will be a bonus. But he has shown a few flickers of speed, hasn't he? I think, what was it, in the F1 sprint race in America. So, fingers crossed. Now, in terms of that, Gasly again. Once again, the Alpine is an absolute mystery. You don't know what Alpine you're going to get. You're going to get one that could potentially qualify in the top 10, or you'll get an Alpine that's basically last. I mean, it does seem they've pretty much given up on this year, concentrating, understandably, on 2026. So I'm not holding out much hope for Pierre Gasly. In terms of the Kickstarter, again, they a bit like Alpine, but not as extreme. They can surprise. Bortoleto and Hulkenberg, I've kind of like put them together because they've been really close over the course of the season, I feel. And I'm still very upset about Bortoleto. I don't think it was completely Lance Stroll's fault at Brazil, although he had a lot to do with it. I think it was like Bortoleto put his car in a position for Lance Stroll to do that. I know Franco Colapinto stuck up for him, but at his home Grand Prix, it was absolutely heartbreaking. And I think Hulkenberg as well, I think Las Vegas, street tracks are always more difficult, I think, for rookies. So, I'm almost expecting Nico Hulkenberg to outdo Bortoleto. And if he doesn't, I think Hulkenberg's going to be really disappointed. And this guy here, he's getting quite the pasting at the moment by Ollie Behrman. And I think, sadly, it's absolutely going to continue for poor old Esteban Ocon. I can't see any evidence to the contrary. But, once again, street races, a rogue safety car, absolutely could get points. As can, I think at this point, in terms of speed, anyone can get points. If you have the safety car, a crazy crash, the safety car at the wrong moment from up for half the grid, taking a risk. We've got, a tiny chance of rain, who knows. So Fernando Alonso. Yeah, absolutely. But because it's quite a draggy car, and as you've seen, the track does have a lot of straights. I'm not holding out too much hope for Fernando Alonso scoring. And I think, for example, the Racing Bulls are going to be ahead of him. Liam Lawson, not too bad in Brazil. I'm really hoping they keep him. Has he done enough, though? Has Liam Lawson done enough to be kept by the Racing Bull team? That one, I'm not too sure. I mean, we absolutely know his teammate has. Absolutely, done enough. He's been a revelation, I think. And everyone's talking about him going to Red Bull. It's a bit hard to disagree with that, really. But yeah, I think these two can do well. If you remember, they outqualified both Red Bulls in Brazil, which was completely insane. Who would have guessed that at any point in 2025? Next up, we've got Oliver Behrman. I put him quite high because this guy is on form. I mean, we're talking about Hadjar being the best rookie. Yes, Behrman has made more mistakes than Isaac Hadjar, but if he keeps this form up, I mean, goodness me. Yeah. Absolutely, I'm really excited to see what he can do here. Again, he's a rookie. He hasn't raced here. But I put him ahead of Ocon simply because he's very much on form. And the Williams team are very much, I think, due a decent race with Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon. I pretty much, if I'm honest, put them together. Because I think at this point, Carlos Sainz is happier seemingly with the car than Alex Albon. The development has moved a bit. But, yeah. Both Williams, I think they'd be disappointed if not at least one of them will be scoring points. If not both. And I think at least one of them should be making it to Q3. Otherwise, yeah, disappointing times. And Yuki Tsunoda, are we seeing the last 3 races of Yuki Tsunoda's career? I really hope not, but it is hard. If you're going to write an essay about it, it'd be really hard to prove otherwise at the moment, wouldn't it? With his form, not all his fault, as I keep saying. I honestly think 70% of the blame have to be the Red Bull team for not really sorting out that second car in any way. So next up, Lewis Hamilton, disappointing in Brazil. Then you had the Ferrari president having a go at both of them. The rumours were it was mainly more Hamilton than Leclerc. If those rumours are to be believed, pinch of salt. But yeah, I'm not. They did well last year, but because it's been, common knowledge now that Ferrari made that mistake with the plank, thinking that they could run their car a lot lower than they really can, and it's hindered them for the whole season. It's going to hinder them again here. So it's almost like I think the teams ahead of them are going to have to mess up on the setup a bit for them to be really, really good. We'll see. We've also seen Ferrari really good in practice 1 and practice 2, and when it comes to qualifying, they're absolutely nowhere. Next up, as I predicted, though, I think the McLarens are going to struggle. Maybe not as much as the Ferrari, but then Lando Norris. He is now in the championship. He's going to be... Are we going to have paranoid Norris back? Not the risk-taker Norris. The play-by-numbers Norris. Or are we going to have the Norris we've been seeing the last few races, and he wins 3 in a row, which he hasn't done yet? Or are we going to see Choke Norris come back? I don't think we're going to see Choke Norris come back. I really hope not. But I think he's going to be fairly sensible now till the end of the year. He's got that 24 points. And yes, he's going to want to absolutely beat Piastri. But he may well just be happy to sit behind Piastri and Verstappen. And then come Qatar, because we know he's fast in Qatar. There's, even in 2023, that he had a chance of getting pole. So I think he'll do, he may be waiting for Qatar for his moment and just survive the Las Vegas Grand Prix, especially if McLaren are thinking they're going to struggle. And I'll say the same for Piastri. Survive, yes, but he is now in a position... you think of it, you're Oscar Piastri, you're 24 points behind Lando Norris, 3 races to go. It's risk take time, I think, now, isn't it? It's, you've got nothing to lose time. It really is, because he's not winning this. He can win every race, and as long as Lando finishes second, Oscar Piastri is not going to be the champion. I don't think that's going to happen in terms of Lando winning every race with Oscar second, but with McLaren struggling, if Oscar can get the most out of the car this weekend, that would really help. Even if he can get a 3rd and Lando Norris is 6th or 7th, for example, I think this is a weekend for Oscar to take risks because he's got nothing to lose. Now, I put Kimi Antonelli quite high. RPs, I think, simply because Mercedes was so good there last year. And I've got no reason not to think that as well. They were solid also, if you remember, the last street race in Singapore, which was a night race. It was a lot cooler temperature. It's going to be a lot cooler here than it was at Singapore, and they did well. So I think now with his newfound confidence, he will do very well. Now, I've not put Max as the favourite to win, simply because Red Bull have been struggling a lot in Brazil, and I'm starting to think that have Red Bull gone wrong somewhere with the upgrades, or they were fast-ish at points at Mexico, very fast in Brazil when they sorted their car out, bearing in mind that they only had 1 session. So I think they're going to be fast. I think Max will at least be the fastest or second fastest guy in Las Vegas. But the favourite for me, I think George Russell, he knows he can do it. Last year he won it. He won Singapore, won from the front. I think if he can get a decent qualifying, he's there for his, for another George Russell victory, which stands him in really good stead next year. And he's got something to prove, because Kimi Antonelli really showed him up in Brazil, and he's gonna wanna stop that straight away, isn't he? He's like, no, young pretender. But there we go. So that is our Las Vegas Grand Prix preview. Slightly shorter than last time. Sorry, I didn't have all the stats and stuff for the track. I'm sure I'll get it for Qatar though. But until then, if you have made it to the end, please consider a subscribe. That would make us really, really happy if you're not subscribed. If you are, just think of that notification button so you don't miss one. But you just getting to the end is more than enough for us. That is amazing. You just clicking on this is more than enough for us. We're not worthy. Thank you very much. We'll speak to you soon. Stay safe.